This is the human heart. Central to our physical body, our survival, revered by poets throughout history as the emotional center of our being. The place we instinctively touch when asked to point to ourselves. And now, what we have known intuitively is being understood scientifically. Researchers are unlocking a new science of the heart that could change everything we know about health and our interconnected nature. Coherence is a state of balance between heart, mind, and emotions, creating a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. But this phenomenon not only benefits us personally, it affects everything around us, emitting an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 3 feet outside of the body. When you are in coherence, your heart resonates at the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. This frequency positively affects everything around you. When a group of people are in coherence together, this effect is magnified. Could communities synchronized in coherence lower violence, accelerate cooperation, and global harmony? This is the purpose of the Global Coherence Pulse. If we can measure the impact of thousands of people in coherence at the same time, it could lead to a breakthrough in understanding the full potential of the human heart. All you need to participate is your presence and your heart. To take it to the next level, join the research study by downloading the app and getting an HRV monitor to measure your personal coherence. The world needs it more than ever before. Each human heart is unique and magnificent by itself. But imagine what could be possible when we unify.
Right, what can be possible when we unify? That's what we're coming together and we're asking that question and we're experiencing the answer every day together. Welcome to the Global Coherence Pulse. We're day 95. We're really like halfway through this peace week, heading towards the 99 days, and I believe the launch of something incredible that we can't define individually, but is emerging collectively through our love and our genius and our care and our yes and our commitment to embody peace through unity and to do something with our love. So today we are focused on the core need of clean, fresh air. Let's all just start by taking a deep breath and really having this pulse session be embodied in your breath. And I really want to connect with the other core needs as we move in this process because they're so interrelated. I've been feeling that today, the living soil beneath our feet. The healthy water running through our bodies and all around this beautiful blue jewel of a planet. Vitalizing food that rises up from the soil and the water. And our free, fresh air, which surrounds us and feeds us with life from the moment that we're born till the moment that we leave this place. And we also infuse in these pulses and in World Unity Week and in this movement a unitive narrative, a worldview that we embody and choose, that we are connected, inseparable, and that from this moment forward we choose this as our belief, our understanding, and our trust. So we start these global coherence pulses with a global silent minute. Dot Maver followed by an attunement with one of our IOC cohorts, Kari J. So Dot, let's begin with our global silent minute.
Today, on day 95 of our 99-day journey of peace through unity towards a thriving world of all of life, we dedicate the global silent minute to fresh, clean air. May all humans and animals and ecosystems have access to fresh, clean air, the very breath of life. We realize that it takes all of us coming together around a shared purpose to move through this all systems breakdown on the planet, to realize an all systems breakthrough as we embrace a whole systems approach in which humanity takes up its destined role, its revitalizing role, its custodial role, its regenerative role, to ensure that all kingdoms of nature, human, animal, vegetable, mineral, are able to fulfill their purpose on this beautiful blue planet. During these 99 days of peace through unity, we have co-created a field of heart coherence, a shared space for all of us to discover together how we can cooperate and collaborate in community as we listen deeply to what is emerging and demanding new expression through us for the good of the whole. The power of silence is greater than we know. It is in silence that we unite our hearts across distance in common union, in sacred unity, in community. The power of our simultaneous thought with shared intention increases its potency exponentially. So let us prepare to enter the silence together. With a deep breath, we activate the spirit of peace in our own hearts. And we unite our hearts across distance. Now we invite all those on the other side of the veil to join us. As we hold the shared intention of coming together in peace through unity, aligned in shared purpose to ensure that the core needs of all of life are met. And now, as the Tibetan bowl sounds, we enter 1 minute of silence dedicated to a world in which all humans, animals, and all of life have guaranteed access to fresh, clean air.
And in the spaciousness of the silence, gently turn your awareness to your breath. Witness the flow of oxygen as it moves through your nostrils and into your body, expanding your lungs. And observe as the air flows out of this precious and sacred vessel. Fully allowing yourself to be here in this moment with your breath. You may notice that as you are aware of your breath, it naturally and organically begins to slow. Helping you to find more peace and ease in this moment as you breathe. And as you continue to breathe in this way, consciously, presently, and aware of the flow of air in and out of your body, I invite you to begin calling this fresh oxygen into your heart space. With each breath in, visualizing as this fresh, clean, purified air enters into your heart and becomes even more purified, even more cleansed. And as you exhale out, sharing this breath of life with not only all the particles and cells that make up the glorious being that is you, but sharing this renewed, refreshed, purified air with the world around you. Breathing into the heart, letting your own body be nourished by this pure and refreshing air. Breathing out from the heart and nourishing all the beings in the world with this breath. And while maintaining your presence and your connection to this revitalization of oxygen, I invite you to gently bring your awareness back to the room and the space that holds you. Bringing this new connection into this moment with you.
Every day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time is a Global Silent Minute, an opportunity for us to actually stop what we're doing and come together and pause for a minute and infuse the field with our embodiment and choice of peace. And so, Dot, I love, you can go to globalsilentminute.org and you can participate every day. What happens if we all start stopping for 1 minute at 5 p.m. Eastern every single day and it pulse the field with our peace? And Kati J does beautiful guided meditations every week in the Islands of Coherence and in the connection field on Peace Through Unity, and they're beautiful and profound. So please, if that's something that would be of supportive of you, please, use these resources that we all are together. And the wonderful thing is, and I wanted to bring everyone on screen because every single person that you're seeing right now brings something unique to the table and to the experience that none of us could do alone and would be too much. But if Gary gets to be Gary and Julie gets to bring Julie's unique genius through, and Dot, I want to grow up and be like you. I'm so touched by you this week and the potency of your call to us organizing around these core needs, there's no anxiousness. There's nothing attached to it. There is nothing but a call that you're choosing, and that's what you're transmitting. And I really want, it's good. It's a good thing. It's beautiful. So today is about clean, fresh air, and Kati J brought us to that. When we're conscious of our breath, then we're more present. And air is all around us. It's everywhere. It's permeating everything. And it's what connects us. And it's what fuels our life from the moment we take our first breath right out of the womb and to the moment that we release our last breath when we exit this plane and merge back into the field from which we emerged from. And what we're inviting, what I felt this morning on the fireside chat that Dot and Shelley and Donna Lee are doing, and Jan, if you have not attended one, you should come. Really profound. They're inviting us, we're inviting us, ourselves, the world, to come into partnership with these needs. Come into partnership with the vibration of living soil and ask what it needs. Come into the vibration of healthy water inside and out and ask what it needs. Call in the vibration of vitalizing food, all kinds of food that's feeding us, and call into deep relationship, our partnership with air, with the air we breathe, with our relationship to the trees that feed us this beautiful air that we can breathe. Come into partnership with life-giving breath by breathing in life consciously in every moment and breathing out our appreciation for it. Because the first and foremost place that we have an impact on air is what we're feeding it. So if we're taking in this life-giving air and we're feeding it hatred and discrimination and war and all of those things, then we're polluting our air around us that we're breathing. But if we feed it love and joy and care and compassion and all of those emotions, no matter what is rising up ahead of us, then we are being nourished by air that has a frequency of what we're putting out. And then another thing they said, Dot, and then I want to hear from you guys too, is that we need to clear the air between us. Clear the air between us. There is so much unspoken, not good energy that we put out in between us, in between all of the cells of our one body. So thinking about not only what am I feeding my own field and ingesting with my breath, but what is the quality of the air between me and everything else? Clear the air between us. And the last thing that was really potent to add to this is that our air is being taken from us, and it's being bombarded with frequencies that are not aligned with a thriving system. And it's just happening. And it's happening for all different reasons than we would choose that happening. And so we need to start claiming back our air, one, by changing our relationship to it, partnering with it, and knowing that you're feeding a vibration into it. And two, say no to frequencies being pumped into the air that are not conducive to a thriving future for all of life. And when you hold those together, when you hold that there's something going on and the air is being bombarded, and that we can change the quality of the air by the quality of what we breathe out and the air between us that we consciously cultivate. So I know, Dot, you were on that call too this morning, and if there was something else that was so big that came up for you during that, and then Julie and Gary and Kadi J before we do our meditation.
Well, it's just what came up for me right now, Teresa, as you're talking. All we need is the air that we breathe and to love us. I mean, it just, remember air supply? But fresh, clean air, you're so right. We take air for granted. In fact, we tend to take a lot for granted, and air's invisible for the most part. It doesn't often make itself visible to us, and yet it is our very breath of life. And as you say, it carries information. And, you know, I've been finding, just being with Shelley and Jan and the core needs and all through Peace Week and these 99 days, I've really fallen in love with air and soil and food and all of it, the trees, I mean, everything. I feel more love than ever. And I think when we realize that air, of all of the core needs, of all of what we are talking about right here, literally proves to us that we are one. We are interconnected. Because we are all in the air together, breathing together. And think about it, thoughts, breath, actions, feelings, everything. We're sharing everything. So let's be friends. Yeah.
Julie.
Dot, you're so cute. Let's be friends. I love that. You know, I'm going to take a divergent path here, because I was thinking during the attunement and what have you, our myth about air and the myth about the air that we breathe. We think we're breathing in oxygen and breathing out carbon dioxide. And and we're like, oh, carbon dioxide is bad, but the trees breathe it in and give us oxygen. And I've always been in that cycle of, our interdependence with trees, but it's so much more complicated than that. We breathe in 79% nitrogen and breathe out 79% nitrogen. And the oxygen carbon dioxide changes with the in and the out breath. I've been studying the breath lately because of states of consciousness. And literally, if we're inviting this great awakening on the planet, we know about coherence, right? And the global coherence pulse. And it starts with the breath and the heart. And we know that. And I think there's so much more that science is going to show us in the coming years that spiritual traditions have known forever, right? We can induce mystical states. We can do so much by understanding the breath. I'm doing a new practice that's fascinating to me, that it shifts your carbon dioxide ratios in your body when you do this first breathing technique, and you can literally hold your breath for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. It's how they train underwater swimmers and other people. And so I've been doing this, and I every night I'm like amazed at how long I can hold my breath. It's fascinating. But just really tapping into that and this interdependence that we're talking about with air and all the core needs, that really everything begins with breath, just like life. And that, just like you said, Teresa. And so understanding coherence and coming into breath, understanding meditation and coming into breath, understanding states of consciousness, and then how we really can support one another in this great turning on our planet to reduce fear, to, there's so many other things that clean, fresh air does besides giving us life, but that gives us to really, really be able to manage our part in this planetary shift right now. Like reducing that fear, like that. I mean, it's critical, right? The stress level goes up. What do we reach for? Breath. Breath brings it back down. So just wanted to presence that. The psychotherapist in me, I guess, the psychologist is like, oh yeah, let's don't forget about the clinical implications, but the spiritual implications as well as the health implications. So important. And emotional.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Gary, I think let's bring in the little bit of the listening fire and bring in a little music, and then we'll go into a little bit of a pulsing meditation, right? Just take this in a little bit deeper. And before we do that, Khadija, I wonder if you just had like a sentence or something that you want to bring in. Thank you again for such a beautiful meditation.
Yeah, I do actually. I have been tracking an invitation in the field. It's one of my favorite things to bring forward is the invitations that Spirit is presenting us with. And just from Teresa, from you discussing how when we breathe in and we're in a place of negative thinking or negative spiraling, we breathe out pollutants into the earth. But when we are in a space of love and joy and appreciation, we can breathe out love. And similarly, this knowing that everything is connected from the air that we breathe, and that everything starts and ends with the breath, right? So our invitation is to really start becoming aware of our breath in a moment by moment experience of life, right? So after this call ends in an hour, can you catch yourself and what you're doing with your breath, with your mind? Are you breathing in the oxygen and letting it lower the stress response and bring you into a space of peace and ease so that you can breathe out more peace into the world? Or are you getting consumed by some other thing going on that's really just creating more pollution? So let's all start becoming more aware and conscious of the life force that is our breath.
Before we bring the fire up, I wanted to just say a couple of things. The listening fire is like the breath in the sense that we take for granted what happens when we listen. But there's so much happening that integrates into our body, mind, heart, and soul when we listen with that intent to generate life. In the same way that breath happens in such a remarkable way, how we show up for our breath is so similar to how we show up to our listening. And it's inevitable that the relationship between breath is also like people would say, you look through the lens of the glass half full or half empty. But the breath is inspiring a way to think about it as, are we grateful for the glass itself? Are we grateful for the breath of life itself, the glass, beyond whether it's full or empty? So in this moment, I just want to invite a hyper is the wrong word, a more embodied presence with the listening, so that I'd like to inculcate a watchful presence to your listening, so that you're actually watching yourself listening and as you breathe. And this track that I'm going to be playing over the fire will be like a multiple experience of the crickets, crackling of the fire, and this track, musical track, that's very breathy, and that we just immerse ourselves in the beauty of the things we take for granted and focus entirely on being grateful for the glass, for the breath of life itself. Kaylin, can we bring up the fire? It's really sensitized to that quality that's around the fire together. Bridging across space and time is Dot, that wonderful phrase, beyond distances. What was that phrase, Dot, that you said? That wonderful phrase, beyond space and time.
Beyond space and time.
That's it. So this music, we'll only do a couple of minutes. We'll share some more music later, but listen to what coherent breathing can produce inside the human voice and in our hearts simultaneously. Doesn't it feel like we've just been cleansed together in community through the power of breath, listening, and presence together? What an honor to share this together, this exquisite way to be together around the fire. Blessings all.
Let's keep that beautiful breathy breathing going, Gary. You can either continue with that sound or play whatever you'd like live, and let's just keep breathing in this life-giving air, breathing out our appreciation for it. As Kadi J said, what if we actually placed our attention on our breath as a regular focus of our attention? And use this focus on our breath to calm, open, and inspire our life. And as a blessing to clean, fresh air today, let us remember a time when we were outdoors and we felt like we were breathing clean, fresh air. Bring that awareness right into your senses right now, breathing in free, clean, fresh air. Taking it into your body and washing you and clearing out the air in your body with this free, clean, fresh air. Revitalizing your lungs. Bringing this fresh oxygen into your blood and your bones. Filling yourself to the brim with clean, fresh air. Feel it clearing the air between every molecule in your body. So this clean, fresh air outside is now clean, fresh air inside. And now, on behalf of the whole, breathe in this clean, fresh air that you remember, that's present somewhere on this planet. Breathe it in. And breathe out this clean, fresh air with your gratitude and your love out into the field around you, into your home, into your garden. Breathing in this pristine air and breathing it out into your communities and into your cities. Breathing in this clean, fresh air that you know exists. Partnering with this air and sending it out with your awareness, your exhale, your gratitude, out across the planet, everywhere. The air responds. Small islands of coherence, breathing in clean, fresh air together. and sending it out with our love into the field has a profound impact. And it's occurring right now. When we change the vibration of the air we breathe and the air we exhale, and our relationship to air, a thing that connects us all, clearing the spaces between us, we change the quality of the air for all of life. And just in a few moments of silence, let's just breathe in life and breathe out our appreciation and gratitude. This partnership, this incredible presence of being we call air. Let us take this energy that we've generated through our conscious breath and our imagining and inviting the feeling that we remember in the field and bring that now into our own chart. Breathing fresh, clean air into every cell and all the spaces in between. And through our individual and collective presence and breath, know that we are making a profound impact. Just this together. And that we can now take this out into our day and into the world and into our lives. And let's keep breathing, breathing. And let's return back to the fire, back to the listening fire, back in feeling your body full of clean, fresh air, opening your eyes and feeling how clear and crisp the air around you feels. And be so. Then we bring our friends Dot and Julie and Gary back into the field. Oh, I feel so refreshed in my lungs and in my space around me. I feel like I opened my eyes and everything, the sky, everything was so clear, and I can feel air as a partner, as a presence. And I love the amplification that's possible when we come together in community. I'm just going to go ahead and spotlight us, seems like. Add a spotlight. Julie. I want to share Donna Leah, who has been doing the listening field since the beginning, before World Unity Week, all during the 99 days, and now is offering up what these different core needs have been inviting us to understand. And so, Kaylin, if you could bring that up, and Gary, if you have a piece, we'll just see how much time we have to make sure we include this today, because we haven't been able to do that.
I have a piece that I was going to prepare for the 6 minute that I can change to 4 minutes.
Okay.
And I have a music piece to share that's consistent with what we're doing. So you tell me when.
All right. Let's just bring up these, just these things from, and Gary, do you have music that, I mean, do you have visuals that go with yours?
I actually, no, I don't actually. No.
Then let's do this. Let's have Gary, you play that music while we just let these slides, and you can take them in along with the music that are
Well,
the
actually,
responses.
the thing I was going to ask was for people to close their eyes and imagine something. But if I can try something else, we can do that too. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and create something that was different than what I planned. That's always good to do. So, okay, so I'll let you do the visuals and I'll play. You tell me when I can introduce the piece so so people can contextualize the music in the way that I want.
Why don't you do it now, Gary?
Okay, great. Well, during this whole time, I allowed the experience of the Global Pulse to inspire me to what would deepen our capacity to have all of our cells and molecules and atoms and mitochondria respond to the wonderful content. And it's an incredible experiment when we listen together with communitas and with this sense of deep commitment to the present moment. So I was going to do the Brother David track because gratitude is so close, but without the images that Louis Schwartzberg has done that inspired this new film that he's coming up with called Gratitude Revealed that has pieces of that video, Julie, that you love so much. But instead, let's listen as we look at these images. This music was created for you've heard this before, Teresa. It's the last cue in the Thrive movie that is underscoring, in my view, the sense of what would it sound like if we achieved the vision of love triumphing over all. If life became the listening field, if life became the 7 core needs, if we succeeded in integrating this into every strata and aspect of our world. So as we look at these images, this music, let it serve as a fire in our hearts, in helping us vibrate at the rate that we wish to create from. And it's called The Science of Love, named by Foster Gamble. And let this music be an inspire, right? As an inspiration to the world we all want to co-create together. So here we go. Just breathe. Let yourself be inspired. Doesn't that? Sorry, hold on. Sorry about that. Hello. Doesn't that? I don't know. I love how that makes me feel. And that came through me, but I was inspired by Foster and Kimberly Gamble's love of the belief that we can do this. And I know that I just love sharing that with you all. As we looked at those images, it was perfect, Teresa. I couldn't have planned that better. So thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Gary.
for combining them with the images. Was a great idea. Thank you.
Let's just quickly go to the announcements because we have a plenary session coming up next, and I want to give Ben a few minutes to transition there. If Kaylin, you could bring those up, the plenary session that's happening right after this, Don't Leave This Room. Beautiful plenary session on clean, fresh air, where you also see Danalia, who created those beautiful slides from the stories that Air shared. The next slide. So Dot, I know tomorrow is September 21st, and I want you to say something about this.
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. It's the International Day of Peace tomorrow, the 40-year anniversary. We are thinking about Avon Madison and all of our colleagues on the other side of the veil as we offer a Global Silent Minute Peace Wave at 12 noon every hour, every top of the hour, every time zone around the world for 24 hours on the 21st. And this invocation to invoke the spirit of peace will be used by people around the world. We invite you, I'll put it in the chat, we invite you to use it if you like, but certainly to just take a moment, a minute, whatever, of silence at 12 noon, 24 hours, invoking the spirit of peace. Powerful. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Dot. Also, I just learned that the Heart Math is doing a 24 hours of peace on the Global Coherence app, and you can go to the App Store, Global Coherence app. You can log on. We'll be able to see everybody around the world that is holding peace in their hearts and creating a wave of peace. So that's with Heart Math and the Global Coherence app. And then we'll be doing a pulse tomorrow for day 96, right? Yeah, physical and emotional safety. So join us back here in this room. I also want to encourage you to go to the fireside chat in the morning that Dot and Shelley and Jan and Donalia are doing. It's a really fantastic way to really tune in to the theme of the day. And then we have two more announcements, Gary. I think these are yours. There's a concert, a peace concert happening tomorrow. World Peace Concert, and we can put link in the chat. And then Gary, you have an incredible talk on Thursday, and we want everybody to tune into that. Islands of Inner Peace should be a beautiful offering. So thank you everyone for joining us today for the Global Coherence Pulse and taking this hour for us to just really drop in deeply together, share our love and our energy, and pulse the field with clean, fresh air, and our commitment to really creating that as a reality for the world.
Thank you, all of you. And Teresa, thank you for holding space today. It was such a magical day. You were on fire today. Thank you, dear.
Thanks, Gary. And let's turn it over to Ben Bowler. We have a beautiful plenary session happening. Ben, I hope we created a lovely space for you guys to do your deep exploration in clean, fresh air.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, everyone at the Global Coherence Pulse, for leaving such a fresh space for us here. And we're very, very excited about this next plenary. We're just going to get it set up and welcome our panelists to do a little sound check. Hello, Shelley. Good evening to you. I think it's 1 a.m. in Jerusalem.
I think we're still streaming live.